Okay, let's take a look at why you may not be getting faster in your running. This is a question that puzzles many runners. You know, I do all of this training. I put in X number of miles per week. And the more miles I put in, I go over 100 miles a week or 120 miles a week, and I seem to be getting slower all the time. What can be going on? Well, there are many reasons for this. Just when we take a look at mileage, this is typically the most common cause for many runners, especially long distance runners. But it could even get down into the sprinters, you know, where sometimes they get involved in too much long distance running instead of focusing more on sprinting. Okay, so we have to bring the amount of running down and improve the quality of the running. This is another factor that's typically ignored. We do the training, but what kind of training? Just because you put in the hours of running or maybe lifting weights or doing stretches and what have you, doesn't mean you're automatically going to be a better runner. It needs that quality. Are the exercises you're doing really specific to your running? Are they going to transfer to your sport? Are you doing general training or are you doing special training? If it's not special, you're not going to see any benefits from it. You can train, and many people, especially today, if you're more involved in fitness training rather than sport-specific training. See, there's a major distinction here. Don't train just to become more fit. Train to become a better runner. So if you're going to train to become a better runner, you have to take a look at what you do for your running. How do these exercises relate to your running? How does the running relate to improving your running speed or running distance or even running comfort? So these are all factors you have to take a look at. Then many allude to improper or not getting speed to improper warm-up. Well, warm-up is a how should I put it, not overlooked, it's overlooked too much. We put too much emphasis on it. You know, some runners, especially even in a marathon, they work out for about a half hour before the marathon to get warmed up to run a marathon. And for many runners, there's no need for it because the run is slow enough. We're just starting off at a slow pace and gradually building up to race pace is more than sufficient. Not in all cases, it all depends what level runner you are. So do the warm-up relative to your abilities. But when I see novice runners spending up to a half hour warming up, that's not conducive to more speed. One of the most ignored aspects of why most people get slower is because of deterioration of their running stride. In other words, their technique. There's a breakdown in their technique. Whether they just get sloppy or they don't have good technique solidified. And here again, I'm going to spend a little bit more time later on talking about development of running technique. I mentioned it quite a bit, but when you develop technique or work on technique, it takes many repetitions before it becomes automatic. But many runners go out and, oh yeah, I had to change this, now I got it, I worked on it. Okay, coach, I did it today. Tomorrow, what do I do? Well, one day you didn't make any change. Maybe you did it that day, but one next day you do to something else, you went right back to your old form. You did not make any change. In order to make a change, it requires hundreds, if not thousands of repetitions, depending upon how major the change is. So take a look at your running form. What is happening to it? Then correct whatever it is happening. Many times the running form or deterioration of your form is due to a decrease in your levels of strength endurance. Remember, running by itself does not improve your strength. This is a myth that is constantly perpetuated in the running community. Go out and run more and get stronger. And if you want to get stronger, do more speed work. Want to get stronger, do hill work. Want to get stronger, run this segment or whatever. These do not make you stronger. They will temporarily. Run up a hill, sure, you get a little bit stronger. Then you go back to your flat level running and you lose it. If you're going to keep running those hills and keep increasing the incline of the hills and then keep increasing the speed of running up the hill, you're going to be getting stronger all the time. But how many of us do that? You run hills sporadically. So therefore, any strength that you gain is not going to equate or transfer to your running. In fact, hill running does not develop better form. It's just the opposite. You get a decrease in your running form, mainly because the joint actions are different. You concentrate on driving your knees upward rather than driving your knees forward, which is what you need in running. That's just one example. There are many others. So take a look at what is causing this decrease in technique as well as your physical abilities. The physical abilities are ultra important. In fact, I have found from studying many long distance runners and even middle distance runners, 800, 400, 800, 1500 meters, the biggest thing that happens near the end of the race, they don't have the ability to drive the knee forward as forcefully as possible. So we don't see the same range of motion. Once there's a decrease in that range of motion, speed starts going down. And that's how they get slower. So these are probably the two most important factors that I would mention. If you find yourself getting slower, look at your technique, check your physical abilities. All the other factors that you can think of play a role, they're important. But they're secondary to technique and your physical abilities.